Bobi takes advantage of government blunders. With the assistance of the mafia, who are his mentors, Bobi Wine was created by the mafia gang. They wanted to create
Bobi was not created.
A rival party.
You cannot create someone.
MPs whom Museveni does not control.
You cannot create a person.
I'm telling you.
No. Bobi avoided danga famous. Music created Bobi Wine.
Of government mistakes. Even the Chameleon was consulted. Baby Cool was consulted. I told you that Baby Cool came to me for consultation 2 times. He told me people want to use me. His brother, Chairman Nyanzi, came to me asking him whether he could go to the president and inform him we are frustrated.
Statement is proving.
For example, as Bobi Wine denied that we did not meet for 2 times or 3 times.
Yes, never.
As Nyanzi denied that he did not come to me seeking assistance to link him to Museveni. Nti Bobi Wine yabeewagulako olunaku Amsterdam lwe yamubba. Amsterdam is the recruiting office of CIA. Nga bwe bakola zoom na bano bwe bamubabbako Bobi Wine bamubabbako.
Statement here ne ekakasa bigambo kulaje beyogedde. Some elements zimu mu bazungu bali bagala diti mu change. Bugandi Bobi Wine yabbi.
For example, although the government has a good case for not holding mass rallies during campaigns, the population does not know this. With no clear explanation, Ugandans, including key players like religious leaders, think that Museveni does not want Bobi Wine to address his supporters. This is because the Electoral Commission has not published the electoral laws and the Health Act that was invoked in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. This new law was debated and passed by Parliament, and Museveni does not sit in Parliament. The mafia gang, which is fronting Bobi Wine and which controls the media, knows this law very well, that publishing it would exonerate Museveni. It's a problem. The electoral law, existing electoral law, was merged with the Health Act to get a new law. A new law that forbade public rallies. None of the key players, Museveni's team and the Electoral Commission, did not explain this. Nti etteeka eririwo Parliament yalikola n'emerging an existing electoral law with the Health Act, getting out a new law that curtailed campaign freedom in the face of the COVID pandemic. Kati abantu basigala balowooza, did Museveni violate throughout this rule? Balabako Museveni ng'akubalala?
No.
Ekitegeeza abantu ba Museveni bakumi ate kati bakyonoonye balina akagulupu ke bataddewo fulanka tumwebaza era baliri mu ssente njakka betenta. Museveni is communicators. Kubanga kye bakola tibannabusaayi abamanyi baleeta baddumbu balye ssente. Baleeta ssente ne balire. Can I sit with the Minister wa Muwa Information? Can I sit with Ogwanga? Can I sit with the Domba more senior? Sigendayo.
Akantu koyogera kako president mwennyini yabadde ekyankwanzi n'abaga bave boogerere ekibiina.
Toyinza kwogerera ekintu kyotakkiririzaamu.
Abempi tebakkiriza mu kibiina kyabwe.
Why is it that Balokola are eating up traditional churches? They simplified the religion. It takes 25 years for a Catholic priest to be produced. A Molokole just speaks in the Bible 2 sentences. By theological colleges. Kubanga ne gwogenda okwogereramu. Faza ina PhD, Dr. Rwanga, Dr. Bani. Bagenda mu kusomesa mu seminary. Oyogere ne PhD ndiko ina PhD takutegeera na kutegeera. But Balokola made simple. Kakati okwogerera n'alemu is not easy. Toyinza kukugamba ti omwogezi we n'alemu ng'ofuna opundu tatula mu cabinet. Ate kokasi ye n'alemu ate ina omwogezi waayo. How can I quote within a quote? I told these people that any person who speaks on behalf of government must take an oath of secrecy and enter cabinet.
Okay. Ayogere ebintu abijja ku source ngabimanyi.
Newe batuuka mu movement caucus sekikuba agenda n'essimu ngeriko emitwalo aga. boogera erinkinga ku monitor kakati bagenda okuvamba kubira ofuna essimu akimanyi nze Museveni helped me I would remain in all meetings natulanga ku back bench andabe yes andaba ngobemu in many cases that's why I was effective nayogera ngo authoritatively ngebintu nabibaddemu
ngobukyogero kimanyi
naye how can you speak on behalf of the party if you don't attend party organ nebaleeta bali omunsi nebaleeta baddombo nebaleeta are they experts I just go kakati nkugamba that created a problem for Museveni and for government. People didn't know, they saw it as a persecution against Bobi Wine but the law Museveni did not violate the law. Museveni strictly adhered to the law.
Muzeita mali ngenda kusaba police angafe footage waneno ngatwa Museveni campaigns ngara naira abantu bakunganyiza aguyagula obutale mu campaign yakola
bintu okugulawo obutale kirala because you have two people. You have Museveni a president and the candidate Museveni.
Nili era bikola mu campaign
atera n'ekyo curiosity y'abantu tibagulawo akatale kalina abantu bameka. But Museveni addressed people in the tent. In spite of provocation, babalamu leader. What? What about insassi? Ngono mukazi namugwa. Waliwo nomukazi akuba abantu mu win. Kati akandi version kawandise ngabukawandika bulijjo obubbi. Did this woman, has this woman and to win? Because me I know 2 ministers who are benefiting from this win Kavi. One gets 1 million, pardon another 1.5 million, and I've recorded them.
Are you sure?
I will deliver the recording to the president.
Are you sure?
Oyo omukazi akuba abaganda abasamba akolaki njekidda Uganda riots. That woman is dangerous. The president must prevail over this night kulabako.
Nemusori amanya agajjawa.
Kakati nkugamba. This is how the mafias operate. Ensonga tebaginnyonnyola. Kubanga abaloya balekamu kibayita lakuna to benefit both sides. Kakati Museveni ekintu kye tebakinnyonnyola. Bakirekamu nga nabo bakikola ki ndiye yanga akuba enkunga nabwe Museveni naye abawe ssente bakube tewalaba abayuza t-shirt ejinja
nebazocha n'okuzoocha
bonga tebamanyi nti Museveni knows he will win era nabaga Museveni will win. Why? He has adhered amanyi nullification nabaga Museveni mu mateeka ina mukodomi we kwa respecting Kalugiri is a handler. Kalugiri is a handler amuvuli sato nejo onvanga omusubuzi nkugamba. This is how the mafias operate as long as you don't interfere with their money and defend them. You were a patriot and a comrade. They have the hunter and hunting dog relationship. When it comes to money, the hunting dog must be ejected and replaced with a trusted comrade from the mafia camp. This is the arrangement between Bobi Wine and his mafia sponsors. The mafia failed to understand that anybody who qualifies to stand as a presidential candidate is a potential president. If Bobi was unfit, then why was he registered in the first place? Why did you register Muyai? Secondly, the qualification nkugamba another glaring example in that kakati nkugamba nti Bobi ye yakwata ebintu by'abano mistakes za government nabaga nti powering tear gas yali ayamba Bobi Wine.
How?
Yes,
abantu babona tear gas ngoma nti
ayamba Bobi Wine. Tear gas yali ayamba Bobi Wine. This is another area which Bobi Wine handlers have exploited to the maximum, powering tear gas. I have always argued that firing tear gas in order to disperse Bobi Wine's rallies backfires on Museveni and he ends up helping Bobi Wine. I see it. Nensanga never security top people nemba bulira nti tear gas mustadinge patani ye. Tear gas we bamukuba Museveni agenda kufiirwa obululu. Tear gas we bamukuba omupoliisi amukubye afuna sente kubamugira percentage. Nibaga it is not. Nibaga go mafias reason beyond your imagination. Nakugamba. Nti one, why Bobi Wine benefited from tear gas. This is another area which Bobi Wine handlers have exploited to the maximum. I have always argued that firing tear gas in order to disperse Bobi Wine's rallies backfires on Museveni and ends up helping Bobi Wine. Number one, the population is not aware that Bobi Wine violates the electoral laws. This is because the public is not aware of the law. Lwachi yabamukuba tear gas? Yes, he is violating the law. Lwachi Museveni mumwete bakuba mu tear gas? He adheres to the law. Kakati kiri ekyobutajjabakwatirayo
obadde yogera ku basajja nga babbalamu no babebe kubakuba enkungana
andi nkubuulira
ne bobonga tebamutyegasi tebamulyako
tebamanyi waludde the court mvula mwatambulawo talina visa talinaaki bajja muyolerawo
mugwanga mwali atambula wacha mutekateka mukwata
langa kikoko gano kaguni akakuba abantu abakuba omwana nabaga nti ebifaananyi by'omwana nga tebifulumye mu mawulire gonna but they in the house
mzee Tamale abantu bonna bali bakola campaign ku Museveni balina kukwatibwa bweru tebena kukwatibwa mateeka ga wano.
Number 2, as Museveni strictly observes the law by addressing it to 200 delegates, his party candidates violate it in full glare of the media cameras. Nakugamba, this means that Museveni's government and the Electoral Commission are put in an awkward position. This works in Bobi Wine's favor. The mafia elements in politics fire tear gas in front of cameras as rallies, on the other hand, continue. Yes, nechiba warning.
Ntize mukusongeza bizadde kati.
Bala mubaye somaji. Ne wetaga mu nacho intellect. Nga bali ya sente baba organize ngo obubbi obusuma n'obujoza obusuma basumani bajoga ngati bamanyi. We told them nzisiro kutula mu group eyi ne bumpita ngogaba billion 10 buli naku. I cannot attend a meeting with those people. I'm a senior man. Nkugamba, you can't tell an ordinary Ugandan or the world that NRM leaders are not violating the law without the consent of the president. Therefore, government cannot defend itself that such incidents are the work of mafia in the government.
True.
Yes. Nganaka lutikana kola.
Tikana bakuberawo.
Mbagamba ki? Basitula meeting za. Nyizo kutumira wenyo ni bom ni kutomeranga inta. Yes. Tompita meeting nyizo kutomeranga ni bom tune nkuja mu amanyi.
Gorote esako.
Tewali. Me, I don't have reconciliation, forgiveness, and never part of my vocabulary. I laughed, I danced in my sitting room when I saw Frank Mwebas talking to somebody he knows that can talk to me. Why don't you prevail over this man? Because I'm not likely to be in a cabinet.
In a cabinet.
Why did you think about it?
When
you were switching off my program?
Minister.
Number 3. A critical look at the police reveals selective powering of tear gas, which adversely affects Museveni and NRM candidates' popularity. This is because a directive or call for ceasefire must be observed by both parties, not only one side. If one of the parties violates the ceasefire, it triggers defiance from the other side. The impact of tear gas on the population also affects the NRM supporters and leaders, as well as innocent people are targeted, including schools, hospitals, and the entire population. Tear gas is applied selectively, and whenever you see police firing tear gas, you know it is intended to undermine Museveni and the NRM candidates. Top ones. Look at tear gas. The way it is powered. Akakazi nekagenda ekiriandongo nekagana Bobi Wine okuyingira mu hotel. A candidate.
Ali nominated.
Into yako kubati gwasoma political science. You don't know tebabuulira. They are ignorant.
abakazi bali bakola kondazizani.
Nkugamba. I have repeatedly submitted that Bobi Wine is the making of one of the factions of the mafia outfit. Bobi was assigned to canvass support for the mafia finance MPs and LC5 chairpersons. This is why those who oppose him restrict their attacks to his inability to be president of Uganda. Mwalite mchitegera. Bwano yizo omuntu wakaluti bayomba. Mvunana bwa president. He's unfit to be a president, but qualifications for the president are the same as they apply. Kwa mutimbitegeera nakugamba nti kakati kankubuulira Bobi Wine went to look at the first time. The police dispersed his rally with the tear gas. And Mbayo's son died in mysteriously. Why did Bobi Wine go back to look? Was it in his earlier program?
No.
It was intended to save Mbayo. Era bwe yagendayo tebamukuba tear gas.
Bwekiri.
Kakati njagala ombuulire. Police, let the police commander in that area tell me which conditions which Bobi Wine had changed from his okubanga addayo ne batamukuba tear gas. Kyovule bankugamba nti mu gavumenti endala ndikola mu intelligence na mu research.
Muzeyita amale sanctions zino zirekawo eggwanga Uganda.
Anti nkubuulira nti what do we do kijana balola. You see, you have committed 4 serious offenses. One, how do you expect international community to react if 32 Ugandans in Serena are being tried for extracting, harvesting human organs by the International Criminal Court? Bakoze bubi eggwanga lino Museveni bamukoze bubi. Bagendayo mbu atukuba njaba bane proceedings zonna nzirina mu Serena. Zonna nzirina because you are shaming us.
Okay.
How can you at the same time nga muyina bino byonna you also have an organic case. One of the suspects is a Rwandese, 2 Chinese, a Kenyan. So how did these foreigners find their way into Uganda? It means Baba was sent. What are we buying? Mbakubye bamazeewo. Omusajja yabagamba mu 2014 that man is dangerous. Ne bategeka okunze. You cannot kill me. Motoka njifuula ne yefuula.
Muzeyita mali.
Kati in spite of these mistakes, glaring mistakes, you have an organic case. Kakati
tuongera kibi ku kibi.
In addition to these mistakes, the president operated on fake information from military intelligence and issue. Bakolaga ne Besigye. But there is a plan B. But he said, Museveni abazukulu bange bagala okukya ekibuga nti temubakuba tubafune centers mwe tubeera tubasomese kubanga balagire tubawe ne sente bagende bakole babakula mu njala babakuba mikko babakolaki tumwine arrogantly parliament neyo kuyita ku safe houses n'ogaana kuba walwana ensi yiyo. The Tumwinas don't know the international trend. These Europeans were watching you.
True.
How can somebody, a minister, defy parliament? Safe houses.
Andi munayi balwana.
Ate mwalwana anti kati babasibye. Twagala ono jeno alagire president wa America. Yes, jeno. Biden si jeno. Twagala tumwine jeno alagire president wa America.
Kisoboka. Muzeyita mali. Bobi Wine yavude na welcoming sanctions zino kubanti zazze.
Kijana balola.
Njatugatta ensonga zino. Bobi Wine welcoming sanctions zino kubanti zazze. Yajja omusango mu kkooti nga bagayala kulabisa. Era yagamba kino sanctions zazze yagamba omusanyufu.
Bobi Wine nkugambye. Bobi Wine is an agent of the Americans. Kubanga nabawandikira akatabo mu 2017 nti Bobi Wine can spark of a revolution. Nembagamba Bobi Wine had advantages.
Satu.
One, the mafias want to use Bobi Wine to get money bakusasha ne bavugende fe batunulya ngembwa nga beyambisa Bobi Wine nembabuuza nti Bobi Wine alina structure.
No, tayina.
Kusasira akola yoki. Enkoko gikulako ebyo anesigala nga ekoko limira omulwadde.
Tekisoboka.
They spend money where babala mu bebagende wa Museveni. Fe katubatunulide wetuti kubanze si fambulinga. Kakati nembagamba ekyokubiri nti an MP from the city is more important than an urban MP. Yes, kubanga government bazigirako mu bibuga.
Bwekiri.
Bobi Wine yagwawa. Wawa.
Wa mu kibuga.
Definitely. Nembagamba ekyokusatu nti Bobi Wine fits in people who are now being recruited by America to flash out the Chinese influence. They are very simple. Yes. Nemba wandikira nemba ganti Uhuru Kenyatta was dismissed as an office. Nga bamukuba with reddish eyes nti asula mu mwenge. Hasn't he ruled Kenya?
He has ruled.
Yes. Nemba gamba Modi owa India. Musajja muhindu yawera ne nembogo jiri ojitta mu India. Bayine buffalo badge gundi butchers. Naga sawula ante nambogo.
Wangambako waneno.
Wait. Battira omukazi omuhindu omwala omuhindu ne bamulepinga ku train. Omusajja oyo n'akwata abahindu ne batta abasiraamu 10,000. He was blacklisted mu America bombi yakuba Congress party. This is a tape.
Okay.
Nemba gende Sudan. Omwana yakubye government ya Sudan ni musisi wa chapa.
Musisi wa chapa wechiri.
Yes. Nemba nti Bobi Wine is dangerous.
Wangambako waneno nti Bobi Wine wabaina kyagenda kutumbala kyagenda kubanga zaako. Okujja omusango mu court. Naganda agenda mu court y'abantu. Court y'abantu yene Southern ekola e America.
Bano tebabala. Bobi Wine yali abamulisa. What would have died? I told you. I have examples. One. Nabagante waliwo musango mu Kinana. Ogwa Yusufu Lule ne Dr. Kayira nga bawabira government okujja ko Lule. Kirunda luliza Kirunda naganti Chief Justice akuveemu Samuel Wambuzi kuba Lule yamulona batula mu court ne bawuliza ensonga court yagenda mu CS ne komoni balulinga ntajja kuvaamu. Why? A judge is a judge. Don't mix politics here. Two, it does not have a veto. It's not alone. Yakulemeramu nemba gamba nti oyo Kiberiyo Balishaki ne vice president second bali ku kachiko ka Human Rights Commission chairman wako nga bamuita order kati izerete ne baleeta obujulizi nti yawabazira bail kuki nga tapesinga mada yava kakiiko ako temporarily ne balonde temporary chairman Kidduma Kubuya ne yennyonnyolako ti a judge cannot alternate for stupid good state attorney. This man was facing two charges, a murder charge which is not bailable and a bailable charge of corruption. But state attorney kufairo bandisirachi bailable charge ne mulirizinga kakati lwaki state attorney yambulira ti although this man is facing a bailable charge ate ayina ye nani bailable charge naye ono owinye ddolo lwamugambako n'abuguma